Greetings to all of you, also from London. Guided by the science is a phrase I heard from my government almost on a daily basis throughout 2020. The context was, of course, the ongoing pandemic. And on a global scale, we all watched how strategies to deal with the pandemic succeeded or failed, depending on how closely they followed advice of researchers and medical professionals. I do not believe this audience needs convincing that science must be at the center of the solutions to the problems that we face. Solutions must be evidence-based. The real question, I believe, is how to harness scientific guidance, which at times may seem to be at odds with other priorities. In my view, we must look to collaborations and partnerships, to breaking down the silos between governments, the finance, business, and research sectors, and the wider society. Crucially, we must also break down the silos within the research ecosystem. Climate change, energy crisis, loss of biodiversity, food crisis, and poverty will require solutions from across research disciplines that range from anthropology through to zoology. It is time, however, for not only multidisciplinary solutions, but interdisciplinary ones. We should therefore look to reimagine our education systems, a point that has been made already, so that we can train a new generation of researchers who identify as true interdisciplinarians. And multidisciplinary journals, such as the one I lead, Nature, can truly come into their own at a time like this by providing a venue and a platform for disseminating such research. We must also embrace research from academia and industry alike and accelerate a growing appreciation of the powerful synergy between lessons from microscale, local examples, analyses, and data with the global large-scale models. The power of collaboration extends beyond the research sector. Just as science has guided governments during the pandemic, it should guide the post-pandemic reboot, for example, future investments. The Biden administration is planning to focus its financial support of public agencies on those that work in climate change and environmental protection. The World Bank and the IMF would do well, in my view, to take a leaf out of this book. Science can and should help guide investments and lending criteria. We are seeing one country after another pledging carbon neutrality ahead of this year's COP. These are incredibly positive developments, but unfortunately, the pledges are made in the absence of a definition of what net zero actually means. This is important because researchers tell us that different definitions and pathways to net zero can have drastically different outcomes, including whether or not the Paris Agreement target is actually met. There is now also a growing momentum towards protecting 30% of the planet by 2030. And last December, the 30% ocean goal was backed by the high-level panel for sustainable ocean economy, of which you just heard a couple of minutes ago. And it was a beautiful illustration of how tensions between the priorities of governments, the conservation community, and industry can be ameliorated when all parties place trust in real-world evidence provided by multidisciplinary research teams. And we are reaching similar conclusions for the food systems and biodiversity, of course. Science is helping identify synergies where previously the world saw mainly tensions. My call for collaborations and partnerships extends beyond the sphere of experts and professionals, echoing previous comments. UN Declaration of Human Rights refers to science as expression of human dignity. Science belongs to us all. and everyone should be included. Let us therefore make it our goal that our discussions and recommendations resonate with every human being on this planet, that the theme, our planet, our future, rings true to everyone, regardless who they are, where they come from, and where they live. Thank you.